Hey everyone, this is Corey with BimmerTech, and today I'm going to show you how to install our Alpha 1 speaker system. These speakers are incredibly high quality, very affordable, and extremely easy to install. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The tools I used for this installation include flathead and Phillips head screwdrivers, small and large socket wrenches with various attachments including an 8mm, 10mm, T40, T45, T20, and T15 attachment, the BimmerTech trim removal toolkit, and optionally a drill and a seat if you have them available. Now that we have our tools and speakers gathered, let's begin installing. First, we're going to move the seat into a normal position and release the screws at the front and back of the seat track. Keep in mind that everything we're doing to one side of the car will be replicated on the other side of the car. Once you've released the screws on either side of the seat, move it forward until it is flush with the seat rails. Make sure that you've unclipped the release tab for the belt end fitting trim with a trim removal tool or equivalent. Once all the screws have been removed from the seat track, remove the headrest from the seat and shift the entire seat backwards to gain access to the floor panel. The first speaker we'll be installing is our E90 underseat woofer. If you feel more comfortable disconnecting the battery before beginning installation, follow the link in the description for an instructional step-by-step video detailing this process. Alright, we have access to the floor panel. We can use a screwdriver. I prefer to use a drill. We're just going to release these screws and lift the panel. Now, as you can see, we just need to remove these 4 silver screws. Then detach this wire clip right here. And at that point, we can remove the entire speaker. To do this, we're going to use our T20 socket wrench. Now I'm going to use a small flathead screwdriver to unclip where the wire attaches. Now it's time to remove the speaker. Let's take our brand new Alpha 1 speaker and set it into place. Line it up with the clip connection. And then connect the clip. Now we're going to install the 4 silver screws that go around the speaker, and then we're going to install the 6 screws that go around the faceplate. Once the cover is attached, reinstall the seat and you're done. Next, we'll be installing our A45 mid-range speakers and our A10 tweeters. Alright, so to gain access to our A45 mid-range speakers and our A10 tweeters, we have to remove this entire door trim panel. I like to start on this decorative wood trim panel, working from the outside inward. This is where your BimmerTech trim removal toolkit is going to come in real handy. Now we'll need our T20 Torx wrench to remove 3 screws located here, here, and here. Now that we've removed the decorative wood trim panel, we're going to remove the rest of the panel. Starting from the bottom, working our way around and finishing with the top. Now that the door panel is removed from the frame, you can see that there's a few wires we need to disconnect. Just unplug them one at a time. At this point, set the panel down somewhere secure. Get out your 8mm socket wrench. We're going to remove these 3 bolts. Now simply remove your speaker. As you can see on the default BMW speaker, there are 2 connections. However, on the Alpha 1 speaker, there's only 1 connection. Let's address the wiring and explain this. As you can see, the Alpha 1 speaker cable has 3 labels: MID out, in, and TW out. The in connection is going to plug into the cord that is attached to the window controls. The MID out plug is what's going to plug into the Alpha 1 speaker itself. TW out is for the tweeter and will be addressed later. As you can see on the outside of the Alpha 1 speaker, there's a small slit built in. This allows you to run the MID cord through the slit so that the speaker sits flush against the panel. Screw the 3 bolts back into place and let's move on to the tweeters. Now that we have our A45 mid-range speakers settled, we can address the tweeters. To do so, we're just going to pull this trim piece right off the door frame. Now we can see what the inside of our tweeter housing looks like. There's a foam pad we're just going to pull out of the way. And here's our tweeter. It's really simple. All you have to do is just grab the tweeter and just pull it out. There you have it. Now we can install our new Alpha 1 A10 tweeter. So here's our brand new Alpha 1 tweeter. We're going to install it simply by plugging it in. Just clicks right into place. Now your cord is going to be housed inside of this foam pad. There's a slit here that you can actually run the cord through. So go ahead and install that foam back into your housing. Clip that back into place on your door frame. And this is where you're going to take the tweeter cord and plug it into the TW out port from the A45 mid-range speakers. Once those two cords are connected, you're all set. Now that we have our A45 mid-range speakers and our A10 tweeters installed, we need to put the panel back onto the door frame. But first, reconnect your wires. Now that all of our wires are reconnected, we're going to install the door panel back onto the frame the same way we took it off. If you want to use any electrical or double-sided tape to secure the wires before you put the panel back on, go ahead and do that now. Otherwise, we're going to make sure that we line up the door lock with the hole in your door. And now we're going to line up all the pins and begin snapping things back into place. When you're ready, tighten the 3 screws that we unscrewed earlier. Last thing we need to do is reattach the wood trim piece. Now that we've successfully installed our mid-range tweeter and woofer speakers, we can move on to the back of the car. Lastly, we'll be installing our A40 mid-range speakers and another set of our A10 tweeters. For the A40 mid-ranges and the A10 tweeters in the back seat, begin by removing the plastic cover. Next, using our 8mm socket wrench, release the bolts surrounding the speakers. Once the screws are released, remove the speakers from their housings and disconnect any wired connections. Now we're going to plug our connections into our crossover filter, just like we did with the front of the car. With the speakers settled in place, screw the bolts back in and place the plastic cover back over top. Your A40 mid-ranges and your A10 tweeters are now installed. If you already have your hands on BimmerTech's Alpha 1 speaker system, I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't made your purchase yet, follow the link in the description and check them out now. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you so much for watching.